update my guys. Why is it look all weird like this? I hate when that happens.
Also, what
Alright.
magical equipment and gear is available currently in town?
If you're all in the guild town, so it's going to be a pretty big city. Just depends on kind of what you're looking for.
There we go. Okay, cool, perfect. I gotta update my guy real quick.
All right, test.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Test. Okay, so audio is on, so we are able to go live, guys. So I'm gonna hit stream, and then we can start here in a minute. So just for roll call, we've got Gilreth, Movik, Morthos, Lilguy, and Segeatta. Are you all able to hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear?
Yes, 2 legs.
Hey, Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Any
Okay, and
chance there might be some bracers of defense? And how much would that cost for yours?
Called rare in the book.
It is rare.
so for again, just a little bit of housekeeping just at the beginning. So both Lilguy and Morthos, is this your first time utilizing Roll20?
Yes.
Okay, was that
It's more
Little guy who's here, and no, this is not my first time.
okay, but Morthos it is?
Yes.
Okay, so for your character, were you able to put everything into the character sheet, or do you have a D&D Beyond or physical character sheet?
I was able
I-
to put everything in. I just had to type in the level 2 and level 3 stuff.
Okay, sorry about that. So with the die roller, you can roll from your character sheet, or you can roll from the die roller on that left side. If you click the D20 or the D12, whatever it is, or two of them, it's going to roll in the chat. If there's anything that's not put into your character sheet where you have a bonus, just add that after the die is rolled. Like I rolled a natural 1 there, so if I had a +3, then you just add that. That's what I'm going to be doing as the DM. For characters, if we have all 5 of you, it looks like we have a group with 2 level 3s, which is the starting level, so that's the 2 of you, and then everybody else looks like level 5, so that's going to be your party makeup. And then we'll just do a quick character introduction, just starting left to right with Gilreth.
We have Gilreth, the Lizardfolk Ranger. He is a handful at times, but one hell of a crafter. He kind of goes by his own way. And watch out for that sting of his with that scorpion mace he's crafted.
Yep. And let's go to Movek.
Hello, I am Movek. I a big fellow. I hail from the northern Iron Slopes in Snowy Village. I lost my family to a dragon. It was unfortunate. Don't really like to talk about it. But yeah, in Lizard Man or Gilreth, go back. We survived being hunted. That was fun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to, smashing things, eating things up.
Perfect. Alrighty, and Morthos.
I'm Morthos. I'm a Tiefling Warlock. I worship the Fiends, specifically Baphomet. And my goal is to find all text related to Baphomet and preserve it and enlighten everyone about the glory of Baphomet.
Right on. Lilguy.
Well, I'm a dwarven cleric of Hamut dragon. Don't get those confused. start with B. But I come from a big family, and didn't want to get into the family business making. Off to become a cleric.
Perfect. And Segeatta.
Segeatta is a centaur from the northern tribes. He traveled south after the guild helped fend off undead from his homeland and has been working in the adventuring guild. He's a powerful archer. And until he gets to know you, you are all considered two legs.
And I don't know if there's anybody that he's worked with in this group before.
I don't think so, so you're all two legs.
Okay.
That-
So, the game is going to start. I don't have the Adventuring Guild page up here, but essentially you've all, in one way or another, found yourselves at the Adventuring Hall for the Dungeon Delvers Guild, which is one of the largest groups and initiatives of adventurers, explorers, rangers, all kind of different soldiers. All have become affiliated with this guild, as it's the first and foremost location for any work. If you're looking for extra coin or adventure, jobs are posted frequently in the tavern hall, and many adventurers group together to go form parties to go clear out different dungeons and accomplish different tasks, hunt certain monsters, anything that is a chance to gain loot and renown. And this is one of the smaller jobs that's posted up. All the bigger ones seem to have been taken fairly quickly. And so Gilreth and Movek, you two have known each other. Gilreth, you were able to travel into the town where you had your adventure with the Tabaxi Cleric Temple, and then from there you went to the next city, which is where the Dungeon Delvers Guild is located, and that's where you find yourself. Movek, I imagine you maybe kind of took a straight shot over here.
Yeah, I walked in a straight line.
So, and lo and behold, the city before you is like none other that you've ever seen. Once your ship lands in the port, you go straight into the town, and it's full of life and full of creatures that you've never seen before. Ones that you would imagine would be hostile, but they seem to be quite tame and civilized, from orcs to there's even goblins. There's all kinds of creatures. And you find yourselves in you probably were looking for a tavern maybe, and that's how you found the Adventuring Guild. But you find yourself here, and there's seems to be a party forming around the bulletin board, and that's probably where you would meet everybody else. Morthos, are you kind of basically trying to go from city to city, spreading the light of your deity, or your I guess you're not a cleric, you've got a pact with your deity?
Yes. I'm trying to enlighten everyone about how wonderful Baphomet is and how much power he can give you.
And what would be your purpose with joining the Dungeons Delvers Guild? Are you in it for coin, or looking for position? Are you looking for just a way to pay the bills in your meantime, or
Searching for coin and trying to find the sacred text and anything remotely related to Baphomet.
Perfect. So yeah, so this is going to be a quick, easy job, one that you can pretty much knock out in an afternoon, especially looking at the other crew that's forming this party. Lilguy, how about yourself? What brings you to the Dungeon Delvers Guild? What would be the attraction?
Finding other minded around the world. Also, just earlier.
I'm sorry, you kind of broke up there. Could you say that one more time?
Little guys is paying the bills, but also seeing as its message.
All
And I'm
right.
bragging. It's just paint the shield and use it.
Nice. So yeah, you see in front of you this centaur who's pretty much blocking most of the bulletin board. But Segeatta, you are once again in the guild hall, back from vacation. You spent the last couple weeks down in one of the southern isles in Port Saphira, conducted some business down there, and opted to come back not by ship but by land. And oddly enough, you seem to have beaten them, your other party members back to the guild. And so you're here looking at the board for additional work, I presume. Or do you have any other motives, anything you'd be looking for?
No, he's yeah, just back looking for work. Let's see, trying to make his way in the city.
Yep, nice. So the easiest one that seems to be also the next best paying one, and the one with the most action, is to clear out a den of thieves, bandits, which have there is a tip posted onto it from one of the people from the Thieves Guild. Seems to have tipped off the Dungeon Delvers Guild to the location of their hideout, and so it's a quick payout, 100 gold pieces per party member. Just a quick go out, annihilate the bandits, and come back. All the loot and items that have been stolen are to be returned back to their proper owners, and so you are all basically the next ones up to the board and able to form a party. So unless you guys want to do any character introductions, we'll just jump right into it.
I don't need to know these two legs.
Can I pick up? Should I pick up a +1 weapon prior or after?
Yeah, so we'll say that while since you and Gilreth both came into the continent on the same ship, Movek, you probably went to go take care of your magic item in that other city where the Tabaxi church was, while Gilreth got involved with it. And so you can say you went ahead and got that done, and then we'll just say it cost 500 gold pieces for you to get that +1 imbuement.
Oh, so that Tabaxi thing is another continent?
It's in the next city. Same continent, but next city.
Okay. Good to know if I have been Sassabax.
Yeah. So yeah, you already have that done. So
Okay.
you see this this group of adventurers together: Segeatta, Lilguy, Morthos, Movek, and Gilreth. You all have this map, which is given to you by the headmaster of the Dungeon Delver Guild, and you are able to make a quick, speedily head over to the exterior of the city, where you go up into the hills, and there's going to be a little string of forests and rivers, and then you find the cave where it's at. You are able to get up to the entrance of the cave, and having foreknowledge, I presume you guys want to go in stealthily, or are you going to go in guns blazing?
Stealthily.
I'm just gonna kind of creep, but kind of moving forward, slower motion.
Okay, perfect. So one of you guys needs to be on point. So who wants to take the initiative there and be in front?
Who else is stealthy?
I've got a +5.
I can summon a familiar and have it go first.
Oh, it's trying to do advantage. Oh.
Oh no.
So Morthos, are you gonna send in your familiar?
Yes. Do I need to hold the ritual first because it is a ritual only spell?
Yeah, so you can do that over the 10 minutes of travel. It's you're not in any time restricted environment, so you can do that basically on your way there.
With my familiar, it's not just a ritual only, if I'm not mistaken.
For him as a
Mine it is.
warlock, it
I have
is.
it from Pact of the Tome. One of the Eldritch Invocation gives me 2 ritual spells, and Find Familiar was one of them.
Okay, but you
Yes.
can still cast it as normal. Ritual means you can cast it as a ritual or as a spell.
The Pact of the Tome says I can only cast it as a ritual, unless I learn the spell itself.
Yeah, either way, it doesn't actually matter. So even though it's a ritual only for you, you can still cast it en route. What does your familiar look like?
It is a. Oh, I had it pulled up.
I forgot to get a second level spell.
I forgot to tie my shoes.
You're peering down into the just a little bit from above because you managed to get
Too
the high
late
ground.
in your shoes.
You see the entrance just down below. You all got enough time and stuff if you want to make a plan or anything. Morthos, do you have your familiar?
So real quick with the familiar, it says you can cast it as a ritual. It does not say it's required to be cast as a ritual. So you can in fact cast it normally.
The only way I have it is from Pat to the Dome with
Back to
the
the chain?
Eldritch.
Well, the
Pat to
spell-
Dome with Eldritch. Eldritch
It's in-
Invocation.
Yeah, Pact of the Chain, right?
Oh, I have Pat to the Tome, and then my Eldritch Invocation is Book of Ancient Secrets. Where I can choose 2 first-level spells that have a ritual tag, and I can only cast them
so
as
that's
ritual.
Pact of the Tome, I got you.
Yeah, it's we
But the
Okay.
spell Find Familiar lets you find it, and then it sticks around and stays there.
yeah until
Yes.
dismissed or killed. So
And I have the Owl familiar with the Tidbits of a Fiend.
So I've always imagined familiars to be kind of like a ghostly outline type figure of the animal. What does yours look like?
Oh, I'm like an owl, but it doesn't like what you would expect a normal owl to look like. It looks more like an owl that's been demonized or devilized, whichever one.
Nice. So this kind of uncanny, creepy owl that's almost has this evil tint to it almost.
Yes.
I cast Pass Without Trace and have me and Gilreth kind of take up the next to try to sneak up that way.
Okay, and you both are rangers, right? So in this kind of hills terrain, Segeatta, I imagine that's very similar to back, maybe not quite as like chilly and rocky, but you're very used to this from pretty much being so close to your homeland. And Gilreth, you're at home in the woods as well, so you both with Pass Without a Trace, you're +10, and so
So is this a forest type setting?
I mean, there's trees. It's more of hills.
Okay.
But either way, I mean, it's with Pass Without a Trace. You're not gonna
So
have
that-
issues.
Put mine's up to a stealth up to a 20, and his up to
16.
critical failure for him 16.
Oh,
And
you
we
were-
can't be tracked except by magical means.
Okay. So you guys going up, and then the familiar kind of hovering around with you as well. You see there's 2 guards. They don't look to be really paying attention. They're just humanoid, kind of low-level thugs. Is the familiar, are you going to go inside, or are you going to take care of the guards first?
Where are the guards currently located?
They're sitting at the base of a cave. It looks to be like a tunnel, kind of a fortified natural cavern. So there's like wood beams supporting the rock, and then in some places it's kind of got a ceiling built in, and then it just kind of goes deeper in. Well lit with torches. You can see that it's well lit all straight down through the mouth of the cave.
You want to send the familiar in to try to see if there's more behind it, or just take these guys out?
I might have an
Or-
idea.
we all in the back together still, and the familiar's going in?
I assume the familiar is way up front. The 2 rangers are kind of a little ways off, and all you clunky types are much further back beyond that.
So
I might have an
Movek,
idea that may
Morthos, and
work.
Lilguy are all together?
Morthos, Segeatta, and Gilreth, I think, are, except Morthos, it's his familiar.
How far away are we from these thugs currently?
You can pretty much get up within 30 feet of them stealthily without them kind of noticing or anything. So if you want to get real close, you can. If you want to keep your distance, that's again totally up to you.
Fog cloud.
Okay, what to describe what this looks like as you cast fog cloud?
Well, I'm going to do this first to show what it does. So I cast it like when I'm further away, and just this mysterious fog starts rolling in, starting from low on the ground and then just starting to rise.
So it's kind of like a natural looking fog, but it's just creeping in towards them.
Yes, but as natural, he's trying to make it as natural looking as possible.
Okay.
That way, it obscures their vision for me to get even closer to where I can strike one stealthily.
So yeah, so one of them is just kind of eating an apple. His back to it, he doesn't really notice. The other glimpses at it and kind of rubs his chin a little bit. Then he kind of goes back to chatting with his friend. Doesn't seem to really take as much notice of it. He did notice it, but he's not like watching it closely or noticing it's unnatural. Yeah.
What what type of gear does it appear for them to have?
One has a broadsword slung across his back with a kind of shoulder strap. They both kind of have cloth armors, kind of like a gambeson vest, and the other guy has kind of a leather sewn material, kind of like a jerkin almost. Fairly mundane items.
Nothing over the head or the eyes, though.
Nope, they're open.
Were they within 5 feet of each other?
They're probably 10 feet. No, actually, yeah, 5 feet from each other. I always get mixed up with 5 feet in reality compared to the battle maps. But yeah.
I turned to the lizard man. 2 legs. Do you want the one on the left or the one on the right? As he nods his arrow.
Which one is this? Which one looks like they're the stupid one?
The one sitting down with his back to you on the left.
Behind.
So there's basically
I'll take
one
the
like
stupid
here
one.
and one there. I'll put a couple minis on for him just to have a representation.
Yeah, he's going to get as close as he can, and he's going to strike.
Okay, just roll an attack with advantage.
I follow up. We go up with him, and in unison with him, I
So
strike.
with advantage,
Shoot the other one.
25, dealing just 12 damage with the poison stinger.
Yep, and
Oh, you do a spear. Oh.
Yes, you're able to get up close through the fog. I imagine as a lizard folk, you're kind of, again, crawling across the ground rapidly, keeping low. Then you hear these whistles as 2 arrows kind of sail through the fog just above your head, nailing the second guard in the throat and in the chest, knocking him completely off his feet into the rocks. As the other guy is scrambling to stand up from his chair or his rock he was sitting on, Gilreth, your stinger spear or your stinger mace comes in and crunches
Go for
into
mid.
him. The
It's
poison.
basically just the stinger coming around, pokes him right in the neck. If it's enough to take him out, it just like comes around, poking in the neck.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. So both of the guards drop down dead.
I don't gallop, but I ride up to the edge of the camp and just make sure that they are not just playing dead.
Oh yeah,
Kind whistle to the others in the back that it's safe to come up.
Yep, the 2 guards are down. They are not going to get back to life unless you take them to some cleric with extremely talented magic.
Ooh.
Do you guys want to go in, or are you all regroup at the mouth, or?
First,
I lead
first
over
the
to
body.
the
For
Lilguy. Ask him what did I miss.
Yeah. As you is the fog cloud still up, or I think that lasts for up to an hour? So yeah, are you keeping that there?
Yep. Because it
Vec
does not.
starts walking with
If
his
it
hand.
requires concentration, then I will drop it.
Okay, so Admovik, as you're approaching, you can kind of see through this fog that there's Segeatta and Gilreth. Their outlines just ahead. As you say, what did you miss? You kind of almost trip over the boot of one of the dead bandits, and you can see that there's 2 corpses on the ground.
Oh, gross. Gilreth, clean up your mess.
I was getting to that. After checking the bodies, he's actually going to hoist up one of the corpses and drag them off into the bushes.
Okay, you do so.
Vec grabs the other one and throws it in the same bushes.
There's some branches and brambles that'll break as the weight of the body hits it. Morthos, your familiar is still hovering. Are you going to do anything? I presume you all are coming up to the entrance of the camp.
I would like to cast detect magic before we start to enter the cave to see if there's any magical traps lying around.
Okay. So as you do so, you don't see any magic beginning to glow except for on your comrades. So actually, all three of Movek, Gilreth, and Segeatta, some of their gear begins to glow. You can tell that they've got some imbued weapons and magical artifacts. It doesn't seem to be anything from the corpses, and then from the mouth of the cave, as far as the radius for detect magic goes, there doesn't seem to be any magical traps or magical auras that you detect. Not from this area, at least.
I'd just like to have the my familiar fly a good 40, 50 feet into the cave. If there's
Okay.
anything.
Now, with your familiar, you can see through your familiar's eyes, correct?
Yes.
That is something that can be done, yes.
Okay. And let's see. Your familiar is not necessarily invisible, so make a stealth check for your familiar.
What do I roll for that?
So just 1d20, and then you add a stealth bonus. If you're an owl, I think you add the owl's bonus, which I can try to find.
Stealth is +3.
Okay, there you go.
Owl.
Yeah, so your eyesight converts to that of your owl as you're kind of gliding silently through the caverns. Again, there's torches lit on each wall, a pair on each side as you continue down into this cavern, and then the walls seem to shift from natural, and again with supports of those beams, to all of a sudden being hollowed out with like picks, hewn walls, and a stair steps descending down. You enter into a cavern very much like in this picture that you're looking at, where there's a couple big posts of rock and a huge hewn out cavern. There's barrels and crates and basically tons of different stolen goods and artifacts and wagons and all kinds of stuff that's stashed here. Food barrels and all kinds of liquors. In the back, you can see there's a further passageway, which has the sound of boisterous laughter coming from.
Coming up from around in the cavern, guys.
So you're going to proceed?
What does your bird see? Sorry.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
What does your birdie see? I didn't hear you.
My wonderful owl friend did not see anyone, but he did hear some friends up ahead.
Oh, friends! I love friends. All right.
These may
I'm
not
gonna
be
start
friendly
walking in.
friends.
No, what is
Did we introduce ourselves?
what is Lilguy doing in the back here? Is he just silently kind of watching, or?
We lose little guy.
I look at the ground and look at the tracks and see see how many we might be dealing with.
Okay, roll a survival check or investigation. Either one.
Survival. Woo!
Definitely. So you count the tracks. They all seem to be 2 legs. There's probably in total maybe about 10 or 11 of them.
He would say, yeah, he would look up, pick up, kind of get back up to on all 4 legs and say, they appear to be 10 or 11 sets of 2-leg tracks.
Ovek stops, and the foot above the air, and then it's like, can I put my foot down?
Yes, you can put your foot down, Movek.
I put
And
my
with a
foot
cupid
down.
grin, Gilreth pulls out the flare gun. What do you think? Shall we introduce ourselves properly?
Oh, lights! I love it.
And he just has this mischievous, toothy grin right now, holding up what the others see as this orange pistol-like thing.
You intend to draw them out of the cave?
Oh, I intend to surprise them.
So are you guys going to go into the cave or not at this point? You're still all kind of out in that foggy entrance.
Oh,
That's what he's asking the one with the strange weapon. It's like, you intend to surprise them with your funny-looking rock? There is much to learn about you strange two legs.
um,
Ooh,
can I do a survival check to take a look around me to see where the closest trap is?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll.
we're gonna have fun with this. Gilreth is gonna pick one of the more important looking corpses, and then he's gonna cast Disguise Self on himself
Okay.
to make himself look exactly like that guy, the guy that they just killed.
One of the two we threw into the bushes?
Yep.
And that is that's an actual spell slot, just automatically makes you look like it, right?
It's a spell slot. Yep.
Yeah. So what does this look like as you cast the spell? Does your form just kind of glaze over
It
and
kind
become
of
human?
changes to look like the guy they just killed.
Nice. So Movek, as you begin
With a
to
toothy grin.
as you begin to enter into the cave, you're looking left to right, making sure there's no triggers or anything. It seems like apart from the guards, that's the only thing that they had. You enter into the edge of the cavern where it starts to descend down into the cargo area essentially, and you can see just ahead, through that passageway where the familiar is hovering, is an entrance to what looks to be just kind of a small enclosure, and you see a couple of the guys all at a table eating, and there seems to be like music playing, and someone's playing not a harmonica, like a accordion, and there's just some raucous laughter.
It is harder to stealth in a cave. I suggest one of you, the suggested two legs with the axe, goes first.
Can I get a refresher? What did the posting on the wall say about like cut out for me?
Oh,
Did he-
in a nutshell, kill all the bandits, claim $100 or 100 gold piece reward per adventurer, retrieve the stolen goods without taking any of the stolen goods. Like that goes back to the rightful owner, and they'll pay 500 gold pieces for this job.
Okay. All right. Well, I think Movek's gonna walk in and hear the music, and he's gonna start dancing a little bit, and he's gonna walk over to the guys, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, the men outside told me that you're looking for new recruits." He's dancing because he likes to move his feet.
Are you the only one going in?
I don't know, maybe.
I stay in the room with all the other gear and kind of take a position behind some of the boxes, where I can still, my horse half is hidden behind the boxes, and I can still fire over the boxes.
Sure. So you have cover. What about Morthos and Gilreth and Lilguy? And is Lilguy still with us?
Let's follow the one.
Okay, perfect. Are you going into the room or just hanging out with the back?
Wait, did Movek just walk into the room?
Yes, Movac just did a Leroy Jenkins.
No, Movek danced into the room.
Gilreth will like lead him into the room and try to imitate the guy that was up front. Found this guy walking around up front. Apparently he wants to join.
Okay. The music stops abruptly. The four guys at the table kind of stand up. They don't. Some of them draw a weapon because they see Movek, but the others recognize, quote, Gilreth, unquote, and they do not draw their weapons. You do see everybody else in the room. There's a couple other people. And
Dang.
one of the guys who was sitting down leaves his big mutton leg on the table and kind of steps forwards. What were you going to do, Leroy? You're supposed to tell us when people are here, not let them in. We'll have to make this quick, boys. Dibs on his head. And with that, the bandits all draw their weapons.
Oh.
So everybody, please roll.
Wait. Why
Was
can't we all?
that a level 5 fireball spell
What was it?
for that flare gun? Or was that a level 5 fireball spell?
It's just the standard one in the player's handbook.
Okay. Boys. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
What's the matter with you, Leroy? Cat got hurt. You ghost got in your head? We said we don't let anybody in here. He knows where the location is. He's got to die. And again, please, everyone roll initiative. If let's see, Ned has.
Is there any chance that Movek can pretend that he's blind and see if he gets a very high persuasion check?
I can tell you right now, there's nothing
Away.
you can really do persuasive-wise to stop this
Alright.
combat from starting.
In that case, put up my hands and I'm like, oh, I can't see, and then start kind of like wandering around a little bit around Gilreth and being like, don't worry, I got this, and I wink at him.
The other things, you idiot, do they really want a blind bandit to join them?
How did you guys roll for the initiative specifically?
If
So-
you put everything into your character sheet, you can go and just click the word initiative.
So, how big is the room currently?
It's the map, so.
Okay. Then let me. Because this is gonna make things interesting.
No. No, I thought.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna enjoy this. One, two.
Morthos, what was your initiative bonus?
Did you hear me?
You're cutting out.
Two.
Okay, we'll just do it this way. Alright, so Gilreth, you're first with an 18. You see all the people pulling out little short crossbows and hatchets, daggers, swords. What do you do?
Well, I did try to warn you. Toothy Grin pulls up the flare gun and launches it into the room about here-ish to where we're just out of range of the blast.
Okay.
But it's enough to hit everyone else in that room.
You are in both Roll20 and Discord, and you are echoing.
Oh, sorry. It's me.
So that's going to be 8d6. And they must make dex saves.
Yep, and that's a 20-foot radius. I'm just gonna make one for all of them because they're all gonna die. Alright, there is a flash as this flare gun, the hammer clicks. There's like a pinpoint of light that just kind of shoots out with a and then as soon as it arcs down and lands right there at the foot of the floor, all the bandits look down, and then there's just an inferno burst that totally incinerates everybody. There's a heat blast which hits both Molvik and Gilreth. Segeatta, Morthos, and Lilguy from the back, you can just see the entire room light up in this inferno. They are all dead, and everything is now on fire.
Kill my familiar.
Oh, dang.
Go
Yeah,
wiped out the entire room of bandits.
What are you doing?
I said he basically just wiped out the entire room of bandits.
Movek is clapping. More lights. More lights.
Yes. Guy also. It's from the back.
Okay, and how many charges did you have for that flare gun? Was it 2
It was.
or 1?
I want to say it was just the one charge.
Okay, I'll double check later, but yeah, so it's that use is gone. Put to good
he
use.
just, like blows, like,
You
the
have
smoke,
funny rocks, 2 legs.
and then he'll just put the flare gun away.
Yep.
Good for intimidation.
Oh,
later.
Effective, if not a little bit of overkill.
You remind me of a
Movek
friend.
gives Gilreth a pat on the back a little bit too hard. And says, yes. That's my friend. Yes.
Smoke is billowing out from the ceilings, pouring into the outer chamber, and everything is smoldering. The flames kind of die down on the rock, but you can see the table, the bench, any of the crates in here are just ignited.
I'm gonna try putting them out.
So you go ahead and start patting out the flames.
Oh, it's
can
about.
Movek-
Is it dark in this cave, or is it pretty well lit?
It's pretty well lit. They've got torches pretty much
mean,
placed all
okay.
throughout.
I mean, it
I
is
was
on
gonna say,
fire
was it
now,
before?
so
It
even if
was
there
now.
wasn't torches, yeah.
Yeah.
If it wasn't lit before, it was now.
and do a perception check. See if I see anything that's of importance on fire.
Okay. Yeah. Roll perception.
Oof.
Nope. You see bodies burning, charring, melting. It's kind of hard to not look away. Kind of hard to watch. But
All right. So I see nothing.
I also take a look
Didn't
around.
see my roll until
Yeah.
the very end.
yeah, we're out of initiative. So if any of you want to do anything at this point, I'm gonna keep this initiative for if there's another combat later. But yeah, if you want to start doing anything in here, just keep in mind stuff is kind of on fire.
After, like,
Segeatta has the horse sense to not walk into fire, so he's just gonna stay back and let the bodies burn.
Perfect. So yeah,
Can I use thaumaturgy to dim all the flames so that everything isn't burning?
yeah, actually that's a great use for thaumaturgy. So you start to beat down the smoke and kind of clear the air, so people are starting to not have to cry because of the smoke. But what is this? Is it thaumaturgy? I always think of it as an audible type thing, but that's only if you're using sound. What is thaumaturgy? How are you using it? Is that creating a wind or?
It just says I can cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color.
Oh, cool.
Just
So
causing some,
you're just snuffing it out, basically.
snuffing it out.
Okay.
No more fire.
Okay, perfect. So things calm down dramatically as you use your spells. For Eric, so Segeatta, you see that there is a chamber off to the right there, which if you go to the clear room, you can go up to that right section up here, and there looks to be a couple things there. There's also a little bedroll, and kind of with the chief's boss room is kind of in there, and he's got a little chest. Anything in this outer chamber, that crate, anything that was stashed by the tables is incinerated.
Is there anything inside the crate?
Looks like there was. Yes. Let's see. So Ned, you are playing Lilguy. So you with a 19 perception, you can see probably that some of that slag, what used to be in the crates, it looked to be like they had a couple goblets, bedazzled goblets, and so this has kind of turned into a heap of half melted gold essentially. You could probably still pawn it off, but it wouldn't be as high value as it probably would have been. Also, any of the body's gear, they had several crossbows and a couple weapons that you probably could have sold to a blacksmith, but now they are just like extremely damaged. You'd have to spend a lot of time to clean them yourselves before they're in sellable condition. Gilreth, what are you investigating?
He's gonna investigate the chest in the leader's room.
Okay, so you go down to that little bedroll. The chest is locked with a. It's not a terribly or large lock. You could either break it off or pick it if you have thieves' tools.
He's got lock picks.
Okay, so just roll a sleight of hand, I guess, and then if you're proficient, looks like that's already good enough. So yeah, so you pick open the chest, and inside you see 2 items. Let me put this on here. So you see a ring, and you see a book.
So you said I see a ring and a book.
Yes. So those 2 items, along with a couple other mundane items, some writing tools and inks, parchment, stuff like that.
I will pick them both up. He will pocket the ring for now, and he will open the book to check it out.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything while this is happening?
Does anything look like it would not be included in the items that were stolen that has to be returned?
Yep, there'd be just leaning up against the wall behind there's a couple just random
So
boxes. You find a kind of a bident, if you will.
but these are all their loot that has to be returned?
In this room, you figure probably not. This is kind of all their own stuff. All the cargo and stuff that was in the outer chamber, that's all the stolen goods.
Oh. So he'll start going over and looking through these boxes. What's this flaming torch or spear that you have put on the map?
Yep. As soon as you touch that, it's a bident, so it's a spear with 2 spearheads. And as soon as you touch it, the blades ignite in flame, and you have this flaming spear.
Ooh.
So everybody else is kind of in the center of the room. Movik, Lilguy, Morthos, are you doing anything out there? There doesn't seem to be too many other intact items, but are you gonna look around at all anymore?
Just detect magic to see if there's anything we may have missed that's special.
Yeah. So you definitely see now detect magic tells you what the items are as well, right?
Heck, I think that's identify. I think detect magic
says
in
the
about school.
Okay.
But I do pick up this spear. I'm not sure if he'll keep it or give it to someone else, depending on what other loot we find.
Sorry, 1 second. So yeah,
And
sorry. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, and Movek's walking around, knocking on the walls. If there's anything, any trapdoors or anything like that, now that the smoke and fire is cleared.
Yeah, so you begin to tap around. It looks like just underneath the table there actually is another little crate lid type thing which you can open up, and it leads down into a little storage chamber. There are some more items down there which are more mundane in nature. It looks like there's supply trove of groceries essentially. There's bags of flour and wheat and meats that are all salted and dried,
Oh,
trail
yum.
rations. So yeah. And then for the detect magic, you sense those 3 items which are out there on the screen. There's the ring, which has the magical presence, the prison book, which has definitely a magical presence, and then the torch, the spear, which Segeatta lifts up, which is basically a big metal rod shaft with the 2 flaming forks at the end. And then, Gilreth, you open the book, and there's a rush of wind as just inside you just see this central picture, which is basically sucks you inside it. So as soon as you open it, Gilreth, you are pulled in. There are all the charred bodies, all of the rest of the party, anything that is not bolted down is sucked into the prison book, and everything turns white.
This is not on the itinerary.
You happened to actually read the title of the book first, did you?
So seconds later, your vision all returns, and you see before you a blue sky. You see birds soaring up ahead, far above you, and a wind blows against you all. A very strong wind, as if you are very up high. As you look around, you see your companions. So you see your companions. You see the corpses of the bandits which you had just annihilated. And then finally, you see, look, what you're laying down on is like this flat, transparent with a white, shimmering, see-through like flooring. You are over 1,000 feet high up in the sky, maybe more so, maybe closer to 1,500 feet. But the winds are pretty intense up this high, and there are no railings. You are actually really closer to here, in this big disc, this field of almost like glass just hovering in the sky.
I imagine we did not land nicely on this.
And standing on the backside of it is a very tall person. A very here, let me enlarge his token so you can actually see it for those not zoomed in. This very tall-looking evil guy.
I like your hat.
Don't judge. Don't necessarily know he's evil.
Yeah, he's not necessarily evil, but he looks like that. So make your conclusion.
Arrow for each one.
Ovek definitely just like drops on the ground right as he gets there, and he's like, "I don't like heights."
guys
What
also
have you
do.
done, Two Legs? As he probably did not land well, is on his side and just like struggling to get back onto his legs, back up. I imagine a horse knocked prone is going to be very hard to get back up, but he eventually struggles to his feet.
I'm gonna try to talk to the thing in abyssal or infernal.
Ooh, very interesting. So yeah, you speak in abyssal to him. What do you say?
Who and what are you?
So the being, looks like he's been sitting with his feet over the edge, essentially, just looking down at the world. And when you all of a sudden pop into existence here, he turns, kind of stretches slowly, and rises to his feet. He is easily 12 feet tall, and he begins to start to stride towards you guys slowly. And as you speak, he answers back in the same language, this harsh tones that does anyone else speak abyssal?
No, but he's tall. I speak giant. Oh, he's a big man.
So he answers Morthos back, and he says, "I am Maladar Dictum. I have been here for many millennia. It is good of you to join me."
He said he's 12 feet tall.
What'd you say?
Said his name and that he's been here for millennium. Can't pronounce that name.
You said he's 12 feet
Maladar,
tall.
Yeah, he's 12 foot tall.
Rude.
Maladar Dictum.
I go over with my 9 feet of height and just kind of raise my front legs and try to just like stand up and try to.
I can't make his mini better anymore. Oh well, it'd just be that big. Yeah, so as you ride up to him, he like holds both his hands up, palms up, and then he says in common, "We are unarmed."
Where are we?
Do we
Two
have,
leg.
we have our
Very
weapons?
clearly have two arms. You are not unarmed.
Yes, you guys all have your gear and everything. There's
Okay.
some of the bandits. I only copied a couple of them, but the bandits are all scorched and like all over the place.
Then Lilguy speaks up.
Ovek
and,
starts getting off the ground. Slowly.
And what does little guy do?
he introduces himself like, "Oh, hi, I'm Lilguy. Nice to meet you."
The guy doesn't have any jaw that you can see, but his voice just kind of reverberates out from his center, and it just says, "Indeed you are, little guy."
I didn't mention earlier, but he is short, even for dwarves. He's only 2'8". He is in fact a little
I
guy.
can't hear little guy.
I'll try to speak up a bit. Is that better?
I can hear you.
Be fine.
I don't know. Maybe it's my connection. Maybe it's cutting out. Everybody else. Anyway, sorry.
So he steps over. What is anyone else? You're just holding your weapons, or what do you guys have on you?
Guys, put his weapons away for now.
Okay. So there's the howling wind as you're super high up, and Melodar just stands there about 20 feet from you, just standing slightly opposing, but not really aggressive towards you. He just seems to be looking at you, taking you all in.
I try to match his height the best I can. My bow is not drawn, but just kind of looking intimidating, but trying to get as tall, similar height to him.
Mm-hmm.
I ask him what he wants. Why is he here? What is he doing on this weird floating disc?
Are you speaking in common or abyssal?
Abyssal.
So he answers you back again, same language. He says, "This is a prison world. I'm surprised you aren't aware, mortal. Surely you didn't come here by accident."
Applying still in Abyssal. One of our party decided to open a book, and we just appeared here. How do we escape?
One cannot escape. I've been trapped here ever since Vastikin tricked me and banished me here and took my magic. Otherwise I would be able to escape. What I've been rotting here, waiting. The last ones that came here, they lasted about 3 weeks till they died for no food or water.
Oh, I can make water, so we got that part down.
There is vast country. Oh, he's speaking abyssal. I don't hear him.
I will be translating for the party.
There is vast countryside below us.
If you're translating, then
Surely
he
there
can
is.
speak in common too. You could just come in.
Surely there is food there.
He turns and motions for you to follow and strides back over to the edge. So it looks like you're following him?
Bolvek looks over at their nearest companion and says, he looks kind of hungry, right?
I do not need sustenance, but he points down, and far down below, you see a Tarask roaming around in the plains. And he says,
Oh, I love Trask.
"That is one of the 5, and even I cannot compete with it."
Did you say 5 Tarasks?
There's only one.
On our Earth.
He looks over at you, and again says in common, "1 of 5, yes."
Tell me, did you create this disc for safety above the world, or has it always been here?
It's been here. He kind of steps back away from the edge.
How do we get down from the disc?
You can jump.
How do we get down safely from the disc?
He looks over and just shrugs.
What is that? What is that creature?
A
What's the name
Tarask.
of it? Tarask?
The most biggest and scariest thing you can ever find in the standard monster manual.
Okay, Tarask. And how tall are they?
Gargantuan.
That's a good question.
Can it reach us on top of this platform?
No, you're probably about 1,500 feet up in the air.
Right. Then Ovek walks over to the side and grabs one of the dead guys, and he goes, then throws one of the dead guys over. He's like, "Oh, what a good boy!"
I mean, I have seen things scarier than the Tarrasque in specialty books, but under normal rules.
Yeah, don't fuck with Tarrasque. I will say that right now.
Yep. So the body just falls and falls and falls. It kind of shrinks into almost a little pin dot, and then all of a sudden you just see it break into the trees below and disappear.
Oh, ouch.
Maladar Dictum looks at what you just did and said, "You should have saved them. It could have sustained you for a couple more weeks before you perish."
But see, last time I was trapped in a book,
It.
it died a leaf. Oh, that might be the way out.
So he doesn't seem to be like necessarily engaging with you a whole lot unless like you're talking to him. You can see that he's been here for a long time and he's somewhat over it. But you see this kind of his body is almost like a shell of like metals, but it's made of flesh at the same time, all kind of sewn together. And if anyone is familiar, actually I would think Morthos, you out of everybody else, you can roll a history check, I think.
Should everyone just roll a history?
I think it would only make sense for Morthos unless anyone has any knowledge of like the nine hells. Guy as a
I
cleric.
would as a cleric.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially Bahamut.
In the meantime, Gilreth will investigate the ring he found.
Okay.
Who opened this book? Is it still here?
No, the book is not here. But Justin, you know that based off of his presence, even though it's somewhat muted, like he doesn't have the same ferocity that you probably would have seen him in the same way as history books, but he is one of the Dukes of Chaos, and he is one of the Lords of the Nine Hells. One of the ultimate demonic. I think he might be a devil, actually.
A devil would be nine.
Dang.
Yeah. But he is.
Did you say crapshoot here?
And then, Gilreth, you said you were investigating the ring. If you can roll an Arcana check.
Arcana, don't fail me now. It failed me.
Okay. Yeah, it looks to be. Let me go back to the other page so I can see. So it is a kind of a bronze banded ring. It's got a brown gemstone in it. It is definitely a magic ring. You're not sure necessarily what it does. You could always take it to a cleric if you ever get back home to have it identified, or a wizard to identify it, I mean. But yeah.
Does anyone in the party have the identify spell?
Cleric does. Yeah.
Oh.
Little guy does.
Little guy? You're a little guy. Yes. Come in here for a second. He's keeping the ring hidden from the giant beast of a guy. Towards Gilreth. So he's going to show the ring.
I was
And
asking
ask if you can
book, so I would probably be near you.
So, can everybody else hear little guy? Sorry, I'm just.
You know, someone's cutting in and out. I'm not sure if it's little guy or. Can you say something, little guy?
Can anyone hear me right now?
I can.
I could. What about Justin? Can you say something?
Hello?
It might be when you're talking is who I am having trouble hearing.
It sounds like it's cutting in and out a little bit.
Is it all of us?
Oh, I can hear everybody else.
Here, if everyone wants to just exit out of the Discord and rejoin it, maybe that'll reset it. Maybe just refreshing. So testing, check.
I can hear you.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, that
Can you
was
hear me now?
I heard you.
yeah. So cool beans. It was your Discord that cut out for me just there.
Mine?
No, not yours.
Okay.
So check.
Sounds good.
Okay. Do you have push to talk on maybe?
No, I don't. I don't know.
Huh. I don't know. Well, I will just try to power through it. I guess. Hopefully, it's not something that's gonna keep up.
I look up to the sky because we came down, obviously. Anything unusual directly above us?
Yeah, apart from the clouds, the sky is very still. There doesn't seem to be any sun in the sky, yet it's completely white, and light out. The clouds are blowing pretty quickly by. Again, you're at high winds up here. You don't see anything above you besides that.
To test a theory or a potential theory, I just take one arrow and shoot it, pull my bow back as far as I can, and shoot an arrow straight up.
And it just whistles off into the sky, and just you can track it as long as your vision can keep it in sight. But eventually, the curve occurs and it begins to sail back down into the valley below you. The demon lord turns and says, "It is futile. Unless you can plane shift, there's no getting out of here."
So what happened for the my identify spell on the ring?
So as you cast Identify, you can see the magic almost in front of you as if it's like floating above it, or you can just kind of understand exactly what it is just automatically. It is a ring of luck, and basically once per day, the wearer who's attuned to it will have the lucky feature, meaning you can reroll any check, any d20 roll that you wish, and then it would recharge that feature once you have a long rest.
I like this.
Share that info with party.
Are you sharing it with like saying it out loud or just enough to Gilreth?
Yeah, to Gilreth first, and then.
You'll give it
Why
nothing.
does it matter that we're hiding from the demon lord if it's just a ring of luck? I'm sure you've seen one before.
True, but if it was something more than just that, we wouldn't want him trying to steal it.
Sense.
Movek walks over to the demon lord and be like, what are you, like? 12-1, 12-2?
He looks down at you, and you're pretty tall as a giant. How tall is Movek?
He's 9'6".
Yes,
Ooh.
you're not too far off from him. So he makes eye contact to you, this third eye, kind of being a little creepy, and
Oh, weird.
and he nods and says, "I'm 12 foot."
Oh, nice. I bet you used to like to toss shit with all your pals, right? You're the big guy. I did the same thing.
I was a lord in the 9 hells. I ruled worlds.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty major. Any chance you can help us, Get out of here.
Can you plane shift? He asks.
Who can?
I can shift my hips and we're on something. Is that what you mean?
Can you help
I start
me
dancing.
plane shift? And then he turns over and looks over and says in Abyssal to Morthos, "What is with your party?"
I just met them. I don't know.
He steps actually over to Morthos, considering you can speak Abyssal, and you find that rather interesting. And he asks you in your language, "What are you? Are you a little devil?"
I'm a tiefling.
How tall is Morthos? How tall is Morthos?
6 foot.
Yeah, so you basically stand right about at his waist, and he says it again in Abyssal, and he says, "Who do you serve?"
Serve Baphomet.
Well, does his power work here? Perhaps we might be able to do something.
Still have the powers that he has bestowed upon me.
He looks around and looks back at Segeatta, Gilreth, and Lilguy. What are you guys all doing over there right now?
Guy would like to make a quick prayer to see if he can also get his higher power. This.
Yep. You feel your holy magic that's such a big important part of your person. You feel yourself connecting, and you can definitely still access your spells. You have that connection still here. Everything seems to be functional.
Basically, just trying to pray to Bahamut to ask for help out, but enough level for intervention.
Okay. Let me look up the rules for concordance and go. I think you have to roll a d20. 1 second.
Little guy, I found this spear in the cave as well. It seems to produce two blades of fire. Does it do anything else?
I so cast identify on it.
So is identify on one item, or is it for everything? Like,
Item instantaneous.
is it for one item though?
That's a DM's call. I've had DMs that let you identify multiple things at once. Other DMs I've had have to cast it each time for each item.
It's a ritual, so I could just cast it.
Yeah, you've got all the time in the world right now. So if you wanted
I
to
don't have to
just,
burn spell slots for it. I can just ritual cast each time.
and then
Gilreth would have put the ring on.
Does anyone want these dead bodies here? Can I have them?
We should as
What are you looking for?
They may be our only supply of food for the moment. It's disgusting as two-legged sounds.
I mean, Gilreth can pretty much eat anything essentially because of his race. So
yeah. So
And-
so if you kind of are waiting for a little bit and casting your detect magic as the ritual, what are you casting it on this time?
so we had that would be we checked out the ring, so then I would need to check out the spear.
Okay, so you're doing that on the spear. So as you are doing this ritual, I imagine it's kind of like a prayer with different verses that you have to recite to be able to initiate this magic. Isn't Gilreth and Segeatta, are you just kind of waiting for him to complete this?
Yeah, I'm curious what it does, if it had anything that could be helpful.
Okay, and then Melodar and Mothos are standing over there. Are you doing anything? Are you talking about anything specific or asking him anything?
Uh, not currently. I'm gonna try to pray to Baphomet and see if he can help us escape this prison.
Okay. And then Movek, what are you doing?
So Movek is actually just peering over the edge to see if he sees any large flying animals that he might be able to jump down on, because he's proficient in animal handling and survival. So maybe he might be able to hitch a ride with something large and flying, since there's other large animals.
Yeah, you can make a, I guess that would be perception check. Okay. And then for concordance, so Morthos, please roll 1d100 as you are petitioning your deity to make a change and assistance.
Can I do advantage because I have animal handling and survival as?
So first you have to kind of see if there's anything even around.
Okay.
So. Okay, and then you have.
Can we figure out what this spear type thing is?
Yep. So that this is all happening while that is being cast. So Morthos, you feel kind of a brief touch spiritually with your deity. However, it does nothing to actually change your effects. It's almost as if all you hear from your god is a acknowledgement that he's still there and you're still in touch with him, but it's not like he's actually listening to what you're asking him, and no change is made. Meanwhile, up on the other side of the disc, your spell completes, and then again your eyes light up with this magical influence as you can see that the artifact that you're holding in front of you is a component to basically a spell casting ritual. The forked metal rod is a vital component to the spellcasting plane shift, which will link you to the plane of fire, once belonging to the to Vastican, Korthos Vastican, the rival to Meladar, the Duke of the Nine Hells.
Ah,
I'll be able to plane shift with this. As well show our new friend.
this could go really good or really, really bad.
The second one.
What was that?
Someone
this
else in
could
our
be-
party knows to use it. Asking our.
So
Asking
it is a spear, but it can also be used to plane shift. Such a powerful artifact. Do we take the devil? Do we try to leave it here?
So Lilguy or whoever is a magic user, you can make an Arcana check to try to recognize what that artifact is for.
It's for me.
So Lilguy, you know that it can be used instead of using like an arcane focus, or like with you just have your connection to Bahamut, but you're able to understand amongst the ones of you who are around trying to figure it out. This is essentially replacing material components for spellcasting. Hello?
Yes.
Do you know how to use
Oh.
it?
Well, If it replaces the material components for example, a specific, would a cast?
You broke up, unfortunately. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, sorry. I'll repeat that. If it replaces the material components, we might still need casting level plane, which forgot his name again. Sorry. The Devil Lord that we have over here might be powerful enough to cast with it.
That is our only option. 2 legs.
That's what I got.
He picks up the spear and marches over, stands with his 9 feet 8 inches, kind of, and raises it up a little bit. Stand up to it. Can you use this to get us out of here? Oh, sorry, my mic was away from my mouth. Can you use this to get us out of here?
So Maladar turns slowly again, and when you hold the spear up, all of 3 of his eyes ignite with fire, and then with a booming voice which echoes across the entire thing, louder than anything you have ever heard from him so far, he holds out his hand outstretched and says, "Give it to me!"
If I give it to you, you're taking us with you.
Oh, we need to make a deal with him, or to protect us.
So he holds
doesn't-
out his hand towards Segeatta like he's about to cast some sort of spell on you, but then nothing happens. And then he raises his head to the sky and holds his hands up and shouts this agonized shriek.
Oh, everybody.
You said something about everybody?
I said, "Hey, are you okay there, buddy?"
Oh, that was Morthos, right?
And
Or was it Lilguy?
it was the little guy who said that.
So he like holds out his hand again towards Segeatta, this time looking like he's trying to do a different spell. And then again, there's like this quivering shake in his body, and then he howls again.
I'm guessing. Oh, it's like, well, he wouldn't say that. He still wants to show strength. You have no power here, demon, without this. If I give it to you, you have to. We have to come to agreement.
So it puts its hands on its face, covering its eyes, and then slowly begins to pull them down, looking back up at you, or they're still down at you, I guess. But then he says, "If you give that to me, we can plane shift out. I will make a deal to take you with me, but it will only take us to the one place, and that is where Fastikin's lair is."
You, 2-leg with tail. Do you trust him?
Is he talking to Gilreth?
I think he's talking to Morthos.
Yes. He looks over to his mouth and says, "You, 2 legs with tail."
I trust him as much as you can, any Devil Lord. If he makes a deal, he will follow it, but he will follow it to a T. Very specific for what you ask from him.
The guy could start writing up.
Then someone should write up a contract.
Oh, I like to write.
Maladar begins to pace.
Like shakes his head.
Oh, come on, you're a devil. You should love this. Thinking
Let's see here.
should
Do I
negotiate for being taken back to the material plane.
Well, this thing said, from my understanding, the little 2 legs says it will only take us to the plane of fire.
But he
Indeed.
Elsewhere. We can't leave the plane of fire. We need to go back to the material plane.
"If you want to
If
go
you'll-
back," he says, and he's like,
We want to go
He-
back.
he looks very like angry that he can't do what he wants to do, but he's just pacing ravenously back and forth, and then he says, "If you need to go back to the plane, you will need to help me in turn. Help me kill Vastikin, and then I can retrieve my magical power, and I will send you back."
It's okay with destroying evil.
Can I do a check to see if I've ever heard of Vastican?
Yep, roll a history check.
Ah,
I need to re-roll my history check, or do I still have it from last time?
What did you roll last time? I don't remember.
Scroll back up to it. A 20 and a 19.
Yeah, so you would know that the nine hells are broken down into different demon lords, and there's a very elegant ranking system amongst demons, one more powerful than the other and stuff. And you would, and actually Movek would probably know this too based off of your role. Korsoth Vastigan is basically one of the rivals for this one, who is beneath him, and then it sounds like basically one way or another, Maladar was either overtaken or surprised or whatever the case, banished here and stripped of any magical abilities that he had, natural abilities. So when he's saying that he needs to go back and kill Vastigan, that's probably to reinstate himself back as the Demon Lord.
I don't have anything to write, and with a 8 charisma, I don't think you want me doing the negotiations. So would the Tiefling or the Cleric want to write up a contract with this thing?
I noticed
Yeah, I would
Movek was
definitely.
not included on that list.
When Movik is like saying that he loves to write, Gilreth is just like behind, just shaking his head vigorously, like no, no. And like if Movik looks back, he just kind of smiles at him.
Yes, and then I am like Vastikin, like a nasty friend. I don't like that guy. He's a bad man.
The tall little man.
If it will get us back to the open to the plains of my homeland, or to the guild hall, I will hunt this demon with you.
The guy agrees and is also just basically from our side is we're asking for
2
turning
legs.
to the material plane where we left.
Once I reclaim my throne, I will have the power to send you back.
So this is out of character, but is the Tiefling or the Cleric going to step up and start writing a contract here?
Yeah, I said that right before you asked. I was.
Okay, so yeah, so that's being drawn out basically. What in detailed terms is your contract going to say?
Choose your words very, very carefully with this one.
A group effort, maybe.
Okay, but 5 of us will play. What name? In order for passage real plane.
Safe passage. Make sure you include the word safe.
Yes, that's why safe passage. Any other?
No harm will come to our world or our plane.
No harm will come to us unless
No
Can
harm
be
will come
called
to
you.
us or our plane of existence. of our home queen as well, basically.
Unless we attack you.
Read what I just sent into the chat. That would be a decent wording on it. It's a lot to try to say out.
Okay. Do you guys want to have him sign that?
And adds in that no harm shall come to our world as well. Gilreth like deliberately adds that on there.
Writes in his own handwriting.
Okay. Is that all satisfactory to you guys?
Segeatta's not one for written contracts. They probably didn't exist very much in the tribes. So he'll trust to the people who are used to dealing with demons.
Ovek says those are way too many words for me to really follow, but everyone's smiling besides the big guy, so sure.
Okay, if you present that to him once you guys are finished with it, he reaches into where his body does not have like the armor plating, and then his nail extends into a blade, essentially like something really like a really sharp long nail, and then he cuts himself with it, so there's a drop of his blood on it, and then he signs the contract with his nail, and then the signature emblazons with red light and burns into the paper, and from there the contract is made.
I'm back.
Hold that.
How much
Okay,
time
I
has
mean-
passed? Because Gilreth has been attuning to that ring that they found.
Yeah, you can have spent anywhere between 1 and 4 hours or 8 hours here if you want to spend a whole long rest, basically trying to figure stuff out.
And
That's fine.
They've probably been there for like a long time, like figuring things out to begin with.
Yeah, so yeah, you can have attuned if you do. You guys want to have said like a long rest has occurred, basically.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good idea. That way I can get my spell slots back, because I figure we're gonna probably need that.
Movek, check all the bodies, or has somebody already done that?
Burnt the bodies to a crisp, remember?
Yeah,
Is there
there's
anything inside the pockets that aren't burnt, like
they're
gold?
they are
don't think they have
all
pockets anymore.
scorched, fireballed to a crisp.
Oh.
Zero loot left.
What was the final
Oh.
wording of the contract?
So I assumed it was basically what you wrote, but then added.
Harm to our realm.
Something like that.
I didn't think about that.
Yes,
Um,
something along those lines.
Movek is slowly spitting off the edge and seeing how long the spit can go before he could slip it back up. Then he's letting it go down again as everybody long rests.
Disgusting.
Yeah, anything to entertain yourself. So
I play fetch with my owl.
for once the contract is signed, Aladar is going to hold out his hand once again, and he's going to say in his more authoritative voice, "Now give me the scepter."
I suggest we all gather. So he says to the others as he brings the scepter over.
Okay, now there's 8 willing creatures or less, so you guys will all be able to go. Let's see. Where are we missing? Gilreth. Okay, so we have the 6 of you. So the Demon Lord holds up the bident into the air, and the flames ignite, and he begins to chant in Abyssal, this this foreign language to most of you Morthos. You can tell that he's casting the spell ritually using the forked metal rod, which is worth at least 250 gold pieces and attuned to the plane of fire. And 10 minutes of this as you guys are all kind of huddled together as he's just chanting. And especially for Lilguy as a cleric, what domain is Bahamut? Is that a good deity?
He's the platinum.
The platinum
Platinum
dragon.
dragon.
Yeah, he's a good deity.
Yeah. So you would probably be cringing this whole time through it because this is not a good being that you're standing next to, and this is not a good thing that's happening.
Have you heard of Tiamat, the
the
chromat, the dragon?
Yeah,
Tiamat and Muhammad are the two sides of good and evil.
yeah. So definitely Bahamut would not like what's going on here. But 9 minutes, 9.5, everything all of a sudden flashes and you find yourself being pulled through dimensions once again. And all of a sudden there's blazing heat burning at your face. Everything is red and fires everywhere. Everybody make a Constitution saving throw.
I do not like this, being from the Arctic North.
I have hellish resistance. Do I still need to make the?
Nope, you do not. If you've got resistance, you do not need to make the saving throw.
Well, this is hometown.
Ooh, at least I rolled well.
Yep. You see running rivers of lava, just spewing out this gaseous inferno of heat, this glazy heat, vapor, and ashes falling from the sky like rain. Everything is overwhelmingly hot. Who did not pass the saving throw? Let's see. The little guy, you rolled a 5. Movek, you're an 11. Gilreth a 7. So let's see. I believe that
Why are
was
some of the rolls 2 of them, and why are some only 1?
some
Some of the
peop-
settings.
yeah.
What thing do we need to have it on?
Either one's fine. If you have the double setting, it just automatically rolls with advantage or disadvantage, so you can see. We would just use the first roll unless there is that happening.
Yeah, I've been going by the left number whenever it's
Yeah, exactly.
advantage. Just in case if something ever calls for it.
Thank you.
Okay, so 3 of you did not make the save, it looks like. DC 12.
So close, Movek. So close.
Sorry, muted.
It's all right. I'm a big man. I can take a hit.
This is so different from the Arctic tundra of my home. The heat, it's almost unbearable.
So I'm trying to find something in the rules. Because I think this is going to give you disadvantage, but I want to see if that's the right thing.
Can I use frostbite to try to like cool them off?
Well, I passed my save, but coming from an Arctic background, he's not liking this.
Which was the spell you're thinking of using?
Frostbite. Can I use it in a more friendly manner to just try to cool them off, or no?
Is that Ray of Frost or?
Frostbite, not Ray of Frost.
I'm not familiar with that spell. Okay, so that's a cantrip, so. Yeah, so I would let you use that, but I would say it probably would have to be on yourself to be able to do that if you did it on somebody else. Because that
As an
is,
attack.
it basically would be an attack. Yeah. Because a numbing frost to form on one creature that you can see. No, you could do it with another person if you wanted to, and try to use it to cancel out the thing. So if you wanted to do that on, I'd say on one person at a time, because it would only last for 6 seconds, so you'd repeatedly be having to cast it. But it'd be on either yourself or an ally, and I would not make them take damage. It would just cancel out the heat.
Who needs to cool off the most?
I am from a mounty snowy village. It kind of sucks here, but probably not the most.
You are also from the north, Two-Leg?
Oh yes, way north. Yeah. Right. This. Oh, fun.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say that everyone gets a level of exhaustion yet, but if you're gonna be here for more than, let's say, an hour, you will start to have those exhaustion levels increase. So anyone who made the save, or if you're going to use that spell there to kind of counteract that, you can do that. But so far I have Gilreth and Movek, and then Lilguy. The three of you do not have saves, so you guys are under the heat a lot more than you are wanting to be.
Out of you three, who would need it the most?
We all right.
Probably not me.
One
Can I
of the
take
three
off
that
my
would-
breastplate to reduce that kind of heat thing? It'll give me a hit on my AC, but might make me cooler.
If you wanted to take your breastplate off so your armor class goes down, I'd say that would give you a little bit of extra time, but it's gonna basically buy you maybe an hour, and then again you'll postpone the check one more to the next time. So yeah, if you wanted to de-armor, that would help a little bit.
Okay, I'm taking my armor off then for 60 minutes of.
Okay. Now, are you going to use the spell on Gilreth or Lilguy then?
Which one of you said you didn't need it?
Said I was doing all right. Okay.
Okay, so I guess I'll use it on Gilreth.
Okay. So Maladar takes the lead and begins to stride quickly through the lava flows. Essentially, there's the ground areas kind of leads into a path where it's kind of steaming still and very hot, but it's not liquid. It's kind of like the cooling lava, and it leads you through this lava river, crossing over the stream into kind of the next area. You see up ahead there is a spiked tower, and in that tower, Maladar points ahead and says, "This is where he resides. If he doesn't see us coming, we can take him by surprise."
As we walk, Segeatta talks with Movek about the north, see if they were from similar areas, but out of game, I believe, we're some separate continents.
Yep. So for Movik and Gilreth, they had sail from across the sea from a different land to this one. So even while still up in the northern regions, it's not anywhere near where you grew up.
Well, he would talk about their homelands and like that, but obviously different places.
Yes. Oh, I grew up in a snowy place. And you look like you can handle yourself in snow. I like your hoofs. Don't get me wrong. I'm cool with feet too.
My tribe. Well, we don't have to do the whole thing, but my tribe lived within the blank valley, insert name valley. We roamed the forest and hunted games and survived. We formed alliances with some of the two-leg tribes.
I'm a vegetarian. But I just raised animals for my family. It's great to meet you formally now that we're in like another stage of hell.
And then Maladar raises a fist in the air and says, "Silence." He points up ahead, and standing in front of the entrance to the tower, you see this guardian, this flaming monstrosity. It's again, this thing is probably almost twice as tall as Maladar is. It's a humongous, flaming lava rock monster, molten monster. And Maladar stands aside and says, "As per the contract, lead the way. Assist me."
How far away are we from this thing?
The to get over to where it stands is about 120 feet.
How far away can I shout at it from? And has it seen us yet?
You guys aren't hiding, so it can see you, but it's not responding. It's just got its sword planted there on the front of the path, and it's just standing there.
So Gilreth is a ranger, but do you have a bow or you are a different kind of ranger?
I've got a bow and I've got a close range weapon as well.
Okay, but you seem to favor the close range weapon.
Here's a longbow as well.
Oh. Huh. I think I just remember the last time you snuck up with like a scorpion thing and stabbed them.
Ovek's gonna look over to Orthos and ask,
can you put some of that ice on the edge of my blade?
I can try, but I don't know if it would help any.
If I tie a rabbit pelt to the end of my battle axe, so it's kind of like a bunny that bites hard.
A killer rabbit?
The worst the rabbit you've ever seen.
What's it do? Nibble your bum? I'm kidding.
Oh, it nibbles.
Mechanically, that wouldn't give you any bonuses.
all right.
Can I try to bluff the Guardian to say that I'm on a mission Baphomet to speak with the demon lord of this level of hell?
Yeah, you want to go up and talk to it?
I don't want to be too close to it. That's I'll shout at it from a distance.
Okay. So from back from this side of kind of that causeway, you shout at it, and you don't. It doesn't respond to you. You don't get the impression that it is paying attention to you at this point. It could be because of the lava flows and the steam is kind of the active lava flow noise of it. This running river is like you can hear this smolder in the air and so it's kind of drowning out any sound. If you're wanting to just shout, you would probably have to get closer.
I guess I'll move forward if anyone wants to come with.
Yep.
Oh yes, I'll come with you.
As soon as you do step onto the kind of the ramp, the lava is so close that the heat is incredibly hot. You realize very quickly you'll have to roll a Constitution saving throw, as even with your fire resistance you'll have to roll it, and you figure anyone else who comes up here is going to take fire damage from the heat.
I'll move within 90 feet of it so I can cast a Hunter's Mark, because I'm figuring we're going to have to shoot our way through this.
Okay, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Am I rolling as well because I was walking with Lilguy?
If you're going up with him, yeah.
Darn.
So you will take 2 fire damage.
Who is that for?
That was for you.
And with the hellish resistance?
Yep.
My cons dice are really liking me. Must be that horse build. I'm fanning myself with the tail.
When I feel it get hotter, can I start casting that spell upon myself to not take the damage, or?
I would say yes, but then was that Gilreth would not be getting the benefit. If Gilreth is staying back, then that's not going to matter.
Are you coming with us, Gilreth, or are you gonna stay back and?
I feel like he's gonna hold back for a minute with his bow at the ready.
Okay.
So I'm gonna frostbite myself as I walk forward.
Okay, so you are able to nullify the 4 points of damage. So you do not take anything. Now, Segeatta, you rolled a 21. It looks like.
Yes.
So you feel the heat and fire burning around you. Being so close, your hooves are starting to smolder a little bit. You take 6 points of fire damage. Movek, you also not attuned to this kind of weather. You roll a 19, you take 1 point of fire damage as you're able to kind of shrug most of it off, but you're beginning to smolder a little bit as well.
So this hotter part is longer than 90 feet.
It's 120 feet.
Oh, okay.
And then Lilguy, you also failed the save. Actually, or you did fail the save. So as you are stepping over, you take the full brunt of this lava as this big fountain explodes next to you, and this heat of fire scalds you. And once the dice rolls, you'll take the full 2d6 for 11 fire damage.
I cast Hunter's Mark, so that's 1.
Movek turns around and says, "Oh, big guy, can you help us out with this?"
You're talking to Maladar?
Fiery lava.
Maladar. Oh yeah, is it just Maladar?
Maladar dictum.
Maladar. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Ollie. Can you help us with all this lava and such?
He just kind of folds his arms and says, "There's nothing in the contract that specifies I must assist you with the fire. I will."
In the contract, it did say that no harm shall befall us.
You're right, it does. Okay, so in that scenario,
So loopholing his loophole. So basically saying "fuck you" with a loophole.
Or indirectly.
you're right. You did say indirectly attempt to harm. So that would be, yeah, he would be able to actually do something about the fire. So you can all undo that damage because he'd be bound by the contract. So he's able to fire suppress and give you all. So you won't take damage, but you still, the heat is still very much. So you'll have to take the occasional Constitution throws against exhaustion. But yeah, you can undo all that damage because you did specify that.
That's why you asked, guys.
Ollie Bow, you're the best and the tallest.
So he would be going down with you then, and he holds out a hand on each side, and the fire basically recoils back from him, and makes the causeway a little bit wider so that you guys aren't in the splash damage of the lava. Sorry about that, guys. I did not catch that.
I guess since we're not taking the fire damage, I'll keep the frostbite on. I think it was Gilreth that he doesn't have.
You need to. If
He said the exhaustion would still happen, so
Oh yeah, fair enough.
not the actual damage itself.
Better safe than sorry then.
Okay, so you cast the not favorite enemy, but Hunter's Mark on the kind of guardian there.
Yeah,
Does that do
I do
anything
it.
besides deal extra damage when you hit him, or does it? What does it do?
An extra d6 damage, and if I'm trying to track it, I get advantage on wisdom or survival, but I don't think I'm going to be trying to track this thing.
Yeah, it just looks like it's right there in front of you.
Good
Close
question.
enough for you to hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the guardian.
Yeah, you can hear you if you shout at it from here.
Okay, I want to shout at it what I said previously, that I'm here on a missive from my lord Baphomet to see the demon lord of this realm.
Okay, roll persuasion.
And while it's going on, anti-attack for a barbarian, is that just constant? It looks kind of like constant if I wanted to.
For what attack?
Anti-attack, it says while you're in frenzy, you can make a single melee attack as a bonus action on each of your turns after this one, which is weird. It says after this one.
So you have have a standard action, a bonus action, a move action, and a reaction. Basically, standard action is typically your attack action of some kind or thing like that. So you can attack, use your attack action, and use your bonus action to get another single attack.
Perfect. Thank you.
What was the thing that you were talking about? Was it just extra attack?
It was frenzy.
Oh, frenzing. Okay. So yeah, so with a 14 persuasion, you announce that, and then the guardian stands up. It had been kneeling down, so it stands up to about 40 feet, and then with its sword drawn out of the way, it stands aside for you.
Nice.
I guess we're gonna continue upon the path.
Okay.
Would my owl familiar be able to survive in this environment, or no? Would it just kind of like
What's
burst
it?
into
What's
flames?
its? What's its hit points? What would it have?
It says 1d4 -1.
No, it would. It would have ended up extinguishing after this hour, unless you wanted to resummon it.
I'm good.
Does his body disappear?
Or can Movek pick it up and be like, oh, roasted chicken. I'll save this for later.
Roasted
My-
owl.
It's my roasted demonic owl. Come on now.
Roasted demonic
Put it
owl.
with you.
Oh, yummy.
Okay. So you pass the guardian uneventfully. Interesting. So inside, you see just standing up ahead is basically the entrance to this natural tower. This enormous volcano-esque stalactite. This mound of molten rock that's dried over. And you see a doorway locked into the entrance, which you can all pass behind the guardian. Let me put you on that.
I was not expecting to get through past that thing without a fight.
Yeah, me neither.
I say that in character.
We can go back and fight it if you want.
It's okay.
Content Movek.
Hold on, roll 20 is freezing up on my side, and it's the computer. Weird.
I do not seek blood. I do not seek bloodlust blindly. 2 legs.
I make fun with my eyes open. So we can high five on that. 4 legs.
So, what is your marching order? Who's in front? Morthos?
I would assume that I was at the front originally because I had to go talk to the big
Mhm.
scary thing.
Who's next?
I'm hoping the big scary demon.
Okay, so he'll be behind you. I'm just
Me
gonna.
and Lil- Oh yeah, the big demon. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to rearrange yourselves into a different order. Whatever you guys want to do is fine. But as you're entering in, you see there's another guardian inside, and then there's a throne on the back. Everything else seems to be pretty empty, except for the decor in the room is basically completely absent. It's this enormous chamber. You can see the open sky as if you're inside a volcano, except all the floor is just kind of dried lava rock, and then this throne at the edge, which I'm gonna draw in here. Basically in the back over here is a throne.
Okay.
And then sitting on the throne you see another demon. And this one does not look anywhere near as necessarily impressive or intimidating as Maladar, but it is kind of here. I'll actually make his mini big so you can see him as well. He looks to be this conglomeration of mouths, kind of sewn into flesh. He's got 2 sets of arms, a bow, a crown on his head actually, made out of emblazoned black gemstones. And he's sitting on the chair, and then as soon as he sees Maladar, he basically screams and waves his hand to activate the Guardian from the inside. And then I'd like to know what you guys are all doing.
Casting Hunter's Mark on the demon.
Okay, on Bastigan.
Yep.
Okay. And
To scream at it to respect Lord Baphomet and cast Eldritch Blast.
okay, roll an attack. What is everyone else doing?
What do I roll for this?
You D20 plus your casting of fire.
My D20 plus my spell attack bonus.
Correct.
All right. Cool. That didn't happen.
Oh no.
Yeah, so unfortunately your Eldritch Blast basically doesn't go off. Like the magic is stifled, and you see Vastican clenching a fist as he's able to basically counteract your magical attack. And we'll just say that for flavor.
Well, then, since I had my bow pretty much. He basically had the bow ready prior to entering the chamber, so figured he would release the arrow and do
Snap a
jack
shot.
shit.
Yep, so again, Vastigan, one of his other arms reaches up and your arrow is redirected off into the wall. And then Movek or Lilguy, which of you wants to go basically next to last? I've just put your initiative in order as if you guys were telling me, because you're all kind of having a surprise round. But what was Movek and Lilguy wanting to do?
I'll go second.
And Segeatta, you Hunter's marked him. Did you attack as well, or no?
No, casting. You choose. I think it's a full casting a bonus action. Oh yeah, I guess I can attack. Okay, so he will unleash 2 arrows. Oh, I should have just rolled the once. So a 20 and a 23.
Okay. So both of those do hit. He's preoccupied with Morthos and Gilreth's attacks, and so yours do strike true. Roll damage for both attacks.
If it's a surprise round, do we get to both of our attacks?
I'm a 5th level character, so I have extra
Yeah,
attack.
we have extra attack. I was asking because of the fact that it's a surprise round, do we get both attacks?
Oh, you would get an action, which I think at 5th level is 2 attacks, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
some
so I'm
class.
also release my second attack real quick as well, if that helps.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me see his armor class. Nope, it does not hit him. Sorry, normally I don't go off of like books. I have my stats like kind of in either notes or they're homebrewed, so I've got them on the computer. But right now I'm going off of the Strongholds and Followers book, and I'm not used to having it physical copy here.
Between both arrows, 21 damage.
Okay, awesome. So
And
this,
then you had
I think that's included with the plus 10, right?
Yeah, it's plus 5, so I just did plus 10 because 2 arrows hit.
Isn't Hunter's Mark plus 10 damage?
Hunter's Mark is 28.
Oh, I forgot my Hunter's Mark. The
So that would be an additional 2d8 if I'm not mistaken for each hit. Like 1d8 for like 28 per hit. So that's 2d8.
So 27 with the hunter's mark.
Isn't Hunter's Mark a D8 or is that a D6?
It's a
No, it's
D6.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so how much? So 27?
Yeah, 27.
Okay, nice. So you strike these arrows thud into his leather vest, and he shrieks in a very pained noise. So that would be Segeatta went, Morthos, you shot the Eldritch Blast, correct? But you,
First time I missed. I didn't mean to click it the second time.
Okay, so Gilreth shot. Movek, what are you doing?
So Movek is looking around. He's like, oh dang, people are getting real. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and do I'm gonna rage. Oh, rage. Yeah, I'm gonna rage. Then I am going to battle cry and run to attack. Or looking hostile.
Yep, it at Vastikin's shout when you saw the other demon, he activated the Guardian. So it's yes, activated.
Perfect. I'm gonna look at him and I'm like, I'll take on the big guy. Then I'm gonna run after that big.
Did you say crit? Awesome.
No.
Wish. Right. So I'm gonna go run after that big guy. And rage with my battle axe.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, what's the best thing to roll besides D20? 20 plus something, or can I do it on my character sheet?
What are you trying to do?
Just attack, just to see if I had. It's
If you have the weapon saved on your character sheet, you should be able to just click on that and it'll roll automatically for you.
it's a +8 DC. So what would I be? Just do a roll 20. I'll just do a D20.
Okay, and then if you're raging, are you reckless attacking or just or no?
Yeah, I'm a reckless. Wait, actually, I don't. I do that at level 5.
Yeah.
Showing up on my sheet.
Or
What's that again?
what's your attack bonus?
+8.
So you would have
Slash
rolled a 15. So do you want a reckless attack or no?
What is reckless attack again? Sorry.
Reckless attack gives you advantage, but it also gives your opponent advantage on their turn.
Okay. No, I guess I'm gonna skip it, but I can do that now at level 5.
Yeah. So if you rolled a 15, so is that including the rage bonus?
Oh, no. Rage. Oh, advantage on strength checks and saving throws. But that's not. But it is rage, so it'd be +2 damage when I decide to hit. If I hit, would I hit with a 15 then?
When you decide to hit.
You hit the guardian with your raging attack. However, your weapon bounces off of its strong plates of armor and does no damage.
Oh dang! Oh man! Oh, he is mighty.
Now, if you are level 5, you do get 2 attacks.
You get 2 attacks. Okay. The second one I'm going to. It's true. Let me go ahead and
That will hit. So you do hit him, yes.
All right. And plus 5 plus 2.
Is that including the magic weapon damage?
Yes, I believe so. So it'd be 11, 13 damage. 13 damage. 15 damage.
Okay, 15. Not bad for one attack.
No, 13 damage. Sorry. 13 damage in total with the rage.
Okay, 13. Okay.
And I am going to use my. Oh no. A frenzy attack is an action, right? Or can I use my? It's a single melee weapon attack. It's a bonus action.
You can
I
do that
use-
as well.
I use my rage as a bonus action already. I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I have to wait until next turn.
Okay. Cool.
So next up, Lilguy. Oh, I think you're muted. Lilguy?
Yeah, sorry. Got to take that off. Okay, I would like to cast Toll the Dead against Vatican. So that's a wisdom save. C12.
This is extra damage if they've hurt, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
That looks
Take
like a
it
fail
up.
to me.
So it would be a D8 if you would.
D12, I believe.
Yeah, it's a D12 now. So 9 damage for him.
Okay. Now, what does this look like as you cast Toll the Dead? What's happening?
Just little guy brings out a little. He has a small bell, and just rings and
I just imagine this tiny little
Ah.
bell just ding.
Yeah, what you did.
Hang out, today.
Oh, it's necrotic, not psychic?
I think I'll go for a walk.
Necrotic damage.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, so it damages him.
And then I guess cast as a bonus action magic weapon on it.
Yeah, and do you have an axe, or what's your melee weapon or main fight?
Just a hammer.
Okay.
Kind of a hammer.
Okay.
Move up, get closer.
Alrighty. So after them is Maladar, and he's going to move his 30 feet towards, and then he breaks into a run and dashes, and gets right up close to Vastigan. Then it's Vastigan's turn, and he shouts, disengages, and runs up here. And then he is going to legendary action, and he's going to shoot 4 shots at Maladar. All of which I believe miss. Yep, all of his attacks miss. And it's not so much that they miss as that they just are deflecting off of Maladar's armor, and he does not seem to care that he's getting assailed. Next is going to be the Guardian. This Guardian takes 3 swings down at Movek with lightning fast speed. You didn't expect something this massive to be able to attack you. And that is going to be 1 hit, I presume. What's your armor class?
I took off my armor.
Oh no.
So no, it's so good. 16.
Okay, so that's 1
Enough.
hit, 1 crit, and 1 crit fail. So that is 9 points on the first,
Oh, that
and that
tickles.
is 25 on the second.
Oh, that
Uh,
doesn't tickle at all.
So that's
the
34
math doesn't
damage.
add up.
34. All right. Dang,
Oh, and
okay,
for anyone who's this is a first game, crits the way that I run them is you basically get max damage plus your normal damage roll. So for him, he rolls 3d6, but since it was a crit,
okay.
you add 18. So that's where the 25 came from. Second
Okay.
Guardian is going to come through the door right behind Segeatta and attack him 3 times as well.
Oh.
Oh, can I actually, sorry, real quick. I do Stone's Endurance and as a reaction and reduce the damage dealt by 1d12 plus 2.
You may. You have not used a reaction yet, so you can.
1d12. Oh, come on. Okay. Reduced by 10 damage. That's not
Yep.
bad.
That takes out a little over half the crits. That's good. Now, Segeatta, what's your armor?
Armor class 13.
Okay, so one of those will hit you. And again, 3 lightning fast strikes. You're probably able to like rear up as a centaur and dodge 2 of them, but then the third one comes down and slices you for 9 points of damage. This big broadsword almost cleaves you. And then next, top of the round, Segeatta.
Okay, I've got to get away from big, bad, and scary. Disengaging would mean you don't get to attack, though.
You guys doing that line thing?
It's underneath the magnifying glass is a snap to center, snap to corner, or whatever it says. But you can use the left click mouse to drag from one square to another.
I'll disengage and move there. And unfortunately, that means disengages my attack action and move action. Bonus action isn't going to help, so I'm done.
Okay. Next up is Morthos.
I want to cast Shatter at this one right here, Guardian number 1.
Okay.
Nice.
That would be has to make a saving throw. Should I have to roll to hit or?
If it's a saving throw, then I have to roll. What's your defense? Your spell DC? I presume it's Constitution. Oh my goodness. Wow.
DC's correct.
Oh no.
Well, if it's Constitution, he rolls with advantage with 20s on both dice.
Oh, wow.
I have never seen that in Roll20 before.
Wow.
I have seen it on the board, but not in Roll20.
I'm
So,
assuming I missed. It resists.
yeah, with a double 20, it's gonna, instead of taking half damage, it's gonna take no damage. I think that's fair.
Even is that rolling with disadvantage?
No, well, actually, no, that's with advantage. If it's a con save, these have advantage on Constitution.
Shatter says if it's a creature made out of stone, they roll with disadvantage.
These are not made out of stone. These
They're
are
not- I thought you were stone guardians.
they look like it, but they're made out of they're more of an adamantine obsidian hellish stone warrior guardian, so I guess kind of with stone, but in that they roll advantage on Constitution saves.
It just says made of inorganic material.
Okay, that's fair. So with that, I would take out one of the 20s, so it'll take a natural 20 on that saving throw, which I'll take half damage if that's the case. So go ahead and roll.
Is
A good spell choice. I didn't know Shatter had that.
the only thing I could think of.
I mean, it's a good choice.
Very good choice.
Still pretty wild though, the double net.
Counteracts the advantage with disadvantage.
Okay. So that is Shatter, are you gonna move or do anything else?
I'm gonna move away from the thing that I probably just pissed off.
Okay.
Be all.
Alrighty, so then next up is Gilreth.
All right, so I'm gonna just nope away from this first one here on the left. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let me see here. Scroll over. We're gonna go ahead and do a dash. 35, 40. 50, 55, 60. Okay. So that's his. Did I? It's
Like a
right.
valley?
Huh?
You have to jump over that?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
This isn't like the perfect map, it's just what I found. And I was running out of time, so I just threw it up.
So getting far, far away from those things. And he figures go after the guy controlling these, and they'll probably stop.
You attacking with your longbow?
He used a dash action, so that's my
Okay.
turn.
Okay, so Movek.
All right. Let's see. All right. I am going to use bonus action to get off the ground and put my armor back on. I'm a little dizzy and not feeling top of the line right now.
So one thing I do have to check, what kind of armor do you wear?
The breastplate, medium armor.
I'm fairly certain it takes at least 5 minutes to get into armor.
Okay, well, I'll skip
Even
that
if it's
then.
leather. I'll check on that. But
Well, that there do for me? That there does nothing. Okay, so I'm not gonna put on my breast plate armor then, because I don't have 5 minutes. That's for sure.
50 rounds later.
yeah,
Oh,
so
my
light
armor.
yeah, light armor is 1 minute, medium armor is 5, heavy is 10, and shields are just grabbing it.
I believe some heavy armor requires assistance even.
Yep.
Luckily it's medium, so I will be requesting a little bit of help later. All right. Let's see. So what I'm going to do with my bonus action is I am really knocked sideways. I'm going to be in a frenzy. I am going to do a little frenzy action to make sure that I can do an additional bonus attack on top of my other 2. And then, I'm not letting up my guard. You smack me, I'll smack you back. Or an attack with my battle axe.
Three d20s and then add the bonus to it since I'm doing 3 attacks.
Sure. So I'll tell you the first one. Actually, I think all 3 of them are going to hit. Their armor is 18. So
Plus
if you have
5.
yeah, so you 3 hits.
Okay, perfect. And then still raging. Be 3d8s plus 5 plus 7. Okay. Ew. Okay. So, well, that's not that bad. So 7, 7, 15 on top of
So 29.
9 plus another 6, so 30. 5.
That's actually pretty good. 35.
Yeah, because there's 2 melee damage for raging.
Okay, so you take a big chunk out of its leg because that's the only thing you can pretty much hit with how tall it is, and then there's no noise except for just its eyes glowing red, and as you have opened up a piece of its armor in the leg where you've chopped it, you see just fire and embers glowing behind. Next.
Is there any way for me? I can't take another action. Is there any way for me to like see if it looks like it's getting hurt at all,
Yep, you
or is it
can.
looking pretty sturdy?
You can roll an insight check to try to see kind of its condition.
Okay. Look.
Yep, it looks like you are doing damage to it. You don't think you quite bloodied it yet, but it's pretty close to that midway point.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. Thanks.
Yep. So next up is Lilguy.
Okay. Going to move up a little bit. No. Okay. Toll the dead. And
Move those little legs. 2 legs.
wisdom saving throw.
Oh, your volume is back on.
Okay, that's another fail.
Yeah. He takes 6 damage. And who is the most damaged right now? It's a bonus action. I want to cast Healing Word.
Oh,
Yes, would be the barbarian.
I got kind of messed up for a while, but if anybody else needs it, I think it's me.
Okay, then you.
I'm still at 35 out of 44.
Okay.
At 26.
Okay, cool. You get 6 back, Movek.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's my turn.
Okay, so their turn. So Maladar is going to run up to him and then unsheathing his sword, which he had kept sheathed for centuries, waiting to return. He is going to multi-attack with his changer. So that's
I did not imagine fighting a Lord of the Nine Hells as a 5th level character.
Mm-hmm.
what is with roll 20?
God damn.
And
Okay.
Second time 2 nat 20s in a row.
No, that's 4 nat 20.
That's 4 nat 20s in a row.
Wow, that's awesome.
I
Yeah,
almost am
absolutely.
very skeptical right now of this.
Nat 20 both times. 4 times.
I don't believe this, actually.
1 in 400. It's happening.
And it's basically, I've
So
been waiting
what-
for this for a long time.
0.25%
Well,
chance.
I think this combat's gonna be over, guys.
Yep.
So that's
Yes.
just normal damage. That's 31, and then plus the crit for 2 crits, that's another 24 damage. So that's 55 damage. Plus you've already done 42 to him. And he's not like the toughest guy in the book. He has 78 hit points, so that's going to kill him.
They killed him.
Wow.
Wow, not what I was expecting.
So,
Mind if you try to help again?
yeah, there was about to be a couple more turns of the Guardians wreaking havoc, but I guess what would happen is Guardian 1 raises its blade like it's about to try to strike Movek again, 3 times, and then Guardian 2 begins to run forwards after you guys, and it was about to cast a special flame attack, which would have gone in a line and gotten at least 2 of you. However, they both freeze mid-action as Vastigan is slain with these repeated thrusts and hacks until the demon is beheaded, and Maladar turns and motions for the Guardians to return to their posts, and they leave and return back against the wall, standing up at attention. And then Maladar comes back down and sits in the throne, and with a telekinesis hand type of thing, the crown on Vastigan flies out, as well as a scepter, and Maladar takes them in his hand and sits himself down and motions for you all to approach. Approach, mortals.
Quite impressive.
He just beheaded a demon of the 9 hells, and he's a demon of the 9 hell. I'm not gonna insult his mother.
We held up our end of the bargain.
Be gone. And if Movek wants to run over really quick.
Ovek is like, I was almost done with this guy. But, okay, I guess we're pals. He jumps over and he's like, hey guys, that was crazy.
So Maladar raises a scepter, and his magic rushes back into himself, this dark, evil energy, as he's reinstated as one of the Dark Lords here. And he raises the scepter and says, "Begone, mortals." And you all vanish in a blink of light. You are no longer there. You
Yeah, can I get your number? And I disappear.
poof.
Are you flirting with the demon?
You reappear right outside where the prison book was, still laid open on the bed. All the corpses are gone because they were sucked out. But you are standing there like, what just happened? What do you all do?
Didn't the contract say we would be brought back to the guild hall?
You did specify guild hall in the contract. I think we would have.
I mean, we probably would have
Turn
made
to
our way back this way anyway to collect the items.
Yeah, if I had a picture of the guild hall, I would probably put that up, but I don't think I have one in here.
Ovek runs over and he's like, where's that book at? I left all my friends behind.
Your friends?
We were wrestling, or wrestling, or pronounce
No,
it,
no book.
tomato, tomato.
Wait a minute. We can't finish our quest. I mean, the
We're
It's not-
supposed to clean out the bandits so that they can collect but not take any of the stuff.
Yeah, well, we took
Yeah,
the stuff.
sure.
Well,
we
no,
probably returned to the cave and collect the items to bring back to town.
were we supposed to collect it?
We're supposed to.
Well, it said the
Mountain-
items are returned to their owners.
Yes.
Yeah, are we supposed to get it? Carry all that back ourselves?
There's
Good point.
carriages.
Yeah, okay,
Are
I
they?
just double checked, and you are correct. You are supposed to go back to the guild hall, so technically you would have been summoned back to the guild hall, which I'll fix that 1 second.
We were saying we would have gone back to is to double check
would've
on
come back to the
anything we
cave
would have
anyway.
left.
I'm just I'm saying, isn't that outside of our not part of the contract? We were supposed to eliminate the bandits, but it didn't say anything about us bringing all that stuff back. How are we gonna do all that? That's a lot of stuff in that cave.
Yeah, so you guys feel
Alright.
yourself being pulled back into this existence. You actually all reappear right outside of the guild hall, so you can all go in and grab a table if you want, or do whatever you want. If you want to go back and re-examine the notice, you can definitely do so.
That's the last time I take a joyride to the plains.
I want to go find the notice.
The notice. Yeah.
Yeah, so the notice is off the board. It would be held in the guildmaster's room until you basically return to claim it, or have been proven to be unsuccessful, at which point the job would be reposted back out there. But one quick knock on the door, it opens and you see this short gnome-like guildmaster guy sitting behind his desk. He's got kind of not too crazy hair, but it does have purple highlights in it, and he's old, kind of balding a little bit, big mustaches, and he looks surprised at, is it Lilguy who's going in, or?
I imagine I would be going to Guildmaster too after getting something from the vault, or getting something to drink.
Okay,
Not
so
necessarily alcoholic, but something,
Mhm.
I don't know, apple cider.
Yep.
Gilreth.
So, Segeatta, going up to the bar, you see the dwarven bartender. He pulls off just kind of a warmed milk tonic, kind of like a tea, which he knows that you've had before, and he serves that to you. Who is going?
I take it and then I thank him and clip clop towards the guildmaster's office.
Okay, and so inside you're able to retrieve the notice, and again, it's 100 gold pieces paid to each party member, a total of 500 to the party, and it is for clearing out the bandits' cave and basically retrieving all of the stolen goods and loot that had been stolen from various companies through harassing the trade routes and the supply lanes in the nearby cities, and basically just exterminating the bandits.
I have an idea, guys.
Well, the way we've exterminated the bandits, your companies can go retrieve their stuff.
It was like that when we found it. Just the bandits buried them, and that's how much we found.
Can I kind of like raise my hand like a child in a classroom and be like,
On you, yes.
sir, it's kind of not my place, but we did a lot more than was necessary for what that little piece of paper was on the wall was talking about. Any chance might be able to give us, a couple extra coin, or at least like some packs of lamb that have been seasoned real nice. No, I don't eat lamb.
The guildmaster looks at you like he has no clue what just happened to you at all, but he just shakes his head slowly and says, "This is one of the easiest jobs on the board. So no, I'm afraid there's not much I can do. The job's already been negotiated."
All right.
Gilreth kind of speaks up. You might want to put this in a safe place. Don't recommend opening it though. Sets the prison book on his desk.
Whoa,
So-
wait, we have the book?
So technically you
Yeah.
would not, because you actually would have, per the contract, you would have basically teleported back in right here at the guild hall. So you'd have to go back to the hideout first if you want to go retrieve it.
So we don't have the book. Yeah, we don't have the
He will, if need be, he will go back for it. Because probably better safe than sorry to put that in a safe place than leave it there.
Well, it does say that we're supposed to retrieve it for the best anyway.
Yeah.
This
If-
stuff.
No, I believe the notice just said to eliminate the bandits, and they were supposed to be so that they could retrieve their stuff.
Yeah, if you wanted to check with the guildmaster, he would clarify that. Yeah, all you would have to do is exterminate the bandits and give the companies the green light to go in and basically retrieve their items themselves. They can definitely do that. It was stipulated that you aren't allowed to steal anything from those stolen goods. Those aren't just free items
never
to retake, essentially.
Again, Gilreth will have probably
No,
return to the tavern before the okay is sent out, just to verify that everyone has been cleared out, and to discreetly retrieve that book so it doesn't fall in the hands of companies that might use it for evil.
Okay, so you want to basically return back. Oh, am I? Oh no, you are in the right one. It's just covered up. So all of this, let me minimize. So you go back to the bandit camp then.
I'm not.
And,
I want nothing more. I want nothing to do with your book, Two Legs. I've done my
and
job. I've got my payment.
Movek follows his little friend and says, oh, let's go find out what happened to that nice picture book.
Lilguy comes with.
Okay, so you return to the bandit camp. It's quiet and nothing's there. You can still smell the smell of smoked ash, like fireball decimation is still heavy in the air, as it's only been about 1 day or less. I think it's been like 10 hours maybe since you were last here. And yeah, you see all of the stolen good items. Those are still there, untouched. There's canvases over some of the wagons, and everything's boxed up rather disorderly, but you can tell that some of the items are labeled, so any company that's supposed to come back in here to handle it will be able to do so. Inside their kind of nest area where all their bedrolls were, and their area, you find that there's still those supplies if you wanted to get the trail rations and extra clothing and bedrolls and stuff.
Oh,
He will
I-
retrieve the book and close it.
Steal.
Okay, so you want to retrieve the prison book.
And he's going to close it.
Okay, you do so. Nothing happens.
And Movek is going to take some food rations because literally I have nothing from that last. He finds like a couple things and some armor. I'm like really hungry.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff, all kinds. There's a lot of dried fruits, dried meats, dried nuts, anything you can think of that you'd take on like a hike or a long journey. You can grab all that. There's salted foods and wine skins, stuff like that. Basically,
Oh, stop it.
if you're-
Nice.
if you're gonna go on a journey, you won't be lacking for probably about a week.
Love it.
Okay. Anything else you want to do here in the bandit camp? That about it?
I didn't hear anything from anybody.
I didn't either.
Lilguy was just coming along to make sure no one was going to steal anything of the company stuff.
Yep, it looks like everything's still intact, ready to be reclaimed.
I am all good to go.
Alrighty.
After retrieving the book, Gilreth will return to the guild hall
Okay.
and just kind of like places the book on the guildmaster's deck. You might want to put this in a safe place, lock it, and lock it up.
Movek do a quick look around to see if anything fell out of the other realm when we went into it or came out of it when we left it.
Okay, you can roll a investigation check, I guess, as you return to just outside the guild doors and just to the left where you had all transported back.
When you bring that book back into the guild hall, it's like, what you trying to do? Get the entire guild sucked into another dimension? Keep that thing away from us.
Movek has just been the worst the entire game.
What'd you roll? Let me see.
For investigation.
Yep.
So, like, he would only pull it out once he's like in the back room with the guildmaster.
Yeah. Once the
And, like, he
guildmaster.
can on top of it and just stares him down in the eye. Do not open this book unless you want to go to a prison room.
The guildmaster looks up at you in surprise and like looks down at the book, and then he puts his hand out across the table and kind of wraps it back up with like a scarf or something, and he says, "There's more to you than meets the eye, I think. Where'd you get this?"
bandits seem to have it. What they were doing with it, I have no idea.
This is way beyond any bandits should have. This is very disturbing. Thank you for turning it in. And he wraps it up completely and then stands up. And he's a short little gnome guy, so he doesn't stand that tall. But he turns in and goes to one of the back drawers of a desk behind him and puts it in behind lock and key. And then turns back and says, "This could be very dangerous if fallen into the wrong hands." So, as you exit out of the Guildmaster's Hall, you're once again in your getting to be normal home area. Your routine is to hang out in this tavern area, grab dinner from the serving girls, and order the booze from the dwarven bartender. And in the background, you hear one of the bards starting to kick up a song and story, and
There
there's
you go.
some rowdy adventurers. You begin to start a dance over in the corner, and it's just you're
I
back
missed
home.
half of that.
What was it?
I missed half of that.
It was just basically you're back here at the tavern, back home. You get your payout, 100 gold pieces to each. You get a good dinner. There's food, drink. One of the bards starts up a song in the corner, and the adventurers, several of them, start to dance over in the corner, and it's back to home, sweet home.
Gilreth asked the Guildmaster if he knew any good place to get the flare gun enchanted to where it can be used multiple times.
For that, he would have to tell you to go to a higher level wizard's tower. There is, to my knowledge, that is a 5th level spell
For a fireball,
for fireball.
it's 3rd level.
Fireball is a 3rd level spell, but you probably need to be like 5th level to cast
the-
Fireball.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is so you need a 5th level wizard to be able
Yeah,
to
higher
enchant
level
that.
wizard.
So there would be a wizard in the guild who's able to do that for you. If you know him, his name is Haroon, and he's a tiefling wizard.
Let's see what level we need to be for that for him.
Segeatta's asking about his friends who should be back already, but it's like the boat never arrived.
Yeah, so as far as you're aware, the journey should have only taken about a 30-day trip to return, and it's probably been about that, so they're probably about due to get back.
Yeah. He'll ask the wizard how much to enchant this.
So the wizard's not there. You are asking the guildmaster, right?
So he'll ask how much does the Guildmaster think it would take our cost to get that enchanted?
And what are you asking him about? I don't see anything.
The flare gun.
Oh, the flare gun. If it's a 5th level spell, I'd honestly have to need to look into it a little bit. I know for 1st level, he was charging about 10 gold pieces, but for 5th level, I would need to double check. So I'll handle that outside the game, over Messenger or something. But
It's
Movek is
third level
over
spell,
Gilreth.
but if we want it as a higher level spell enchantment, he would have to be about 9th level.
yeah, I don't think there's any 9th level wizards in the guild yet.
So is that Tiefling another person's character that they have played for a while? And
Oh, no, that's not. That's my guy.
Ah.
And I obviously haven't played him to get high enough level for anything.
What level is he for the wizard?
He would be like 5th level.
5th level?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see here.
Yeah. Is there anything in character or in game that anyone else wants to do? That's pretty much it. That concludes the adventure of the prison book.
Yeah,
So it was.
it's not like a normal fireball.
Movek is going upstairs, and he's like, I'm a little bit tired. But Gilreth, let me know what happens when it happens, because my lizard man, I love you. And then he goes upstairs. He's like, oh, I am pooped, literally pooped my pants because that was scary, and is down to go to sleep.
How many after he disappears? Let's ask, Gilreth, 2 legs. How many blows to the head has your friend taken?
Gilreth just kind of shrugs.
Alrighty. And so with that, the screen kind of fades out to black, and you guys are all back at base camp. And you will be able to keep an eye out on that board for additional missions or adventures or jobs that you want to undertake. But that is going to conclude this adventure.
Awesome. Thank you, Adrian. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, thank
That was
you all for playing.
Right.
Sure, it didn't turn out exactly how you expected, but yeah,
Oh,
it's always fun to play.
Yeah, well, I
Never
had fun.
goes by how you expect.
That was quite a twist. I loved it.
Yeah, I was expecting it to go a little bit worse. So, oh well, the dice is a dice. So, good game, guys.
Segeatta can say he shot a demon lord with his arrows.
All right.
And I played Tickle with a Demon Lord's human. That was fun. And by Tickle, I mean I got literally just like freaking hit so hard.
Well, he got a oh my goodness, I rolled a natural 20 on you as well. I need to reboot roll 20. This is crazy.
It was good. It was good. I mean, Movek hasn't been a blow like that in a while. The first one I was like, oh, that tickles. The second one is like, oh, I wish I was not Movek.
Yeah, I was expecting, because you didn't take care of the guardian on the outside, you just kind of asked to go in. I thought we were going to fight it, but because there were 2 of them, that would be 6 attacks for each one, and they all did 3d6. So I thought someone was going to die before you got to whatever his face was.
Yeah, I was surprised that the first one let us go by, but I mean, it makes sense to have that level Demon Lord.
Yep.
So Baphomet, we win.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to. That would have worked. So.
Was there any roll I could have made there for the persuasion that wouldn't have worked other than a 1?
No, I think I only set the DC if you're asking like on behalf of a god to come speak with him. Then I would say probably like the DC would have been like 12, and I think you rolled like a 14 or 15 plus bonus.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you just asked like you're here to see him on behalf of like whatever, but since you used like a clerical background or like through a deity or something, I figured that would make sense. Like he would.
I mean, my thought was if that didn't work, Gilreth was just like, you know what? We're here to make a deal with the Demon Lord.
You do not need to get in the habit of making deals with demon lords. It will end badly.
Yeah,
We're
slowly
up
slow.
Guys, of making a deal.
So, Morthos, where are you from?
Where's Morthos from, or where's Justin from?
Where's Justin from?
Justin's from Georgia.
Georgia. Okay, cool.
I was real confused on the time thing because I did not see that it said Pacific time.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Hey, you're
Yeah.
good. I should have looked a little better.
Yeah, most of us are up in Seattle.
over
At least most of
Yeah.
the people in my group.
I am very far away from the Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm in
And,
Missouri, so I'm 2 hours ahead of them, but I just do the math to and convert it, add 2 to whatever time says.
This campaign is actually ending a little bit faster than most of them. I was expecting at least until 10:30.
Yeah, I was expecting to go probably, but I knew this would be faster. I think last weekend, we played 2 games, and it was a total of 10 hours through the dungeon, and I think that was a little bit
Oh
burned me
dang!
out a little bit. Like that second day on Sunday,
Yeah.
we played for till 10:30, so like 5 to
Well,
5.
Our
Are they
characters were
recruited or
very interesting characters. They were dramatic.
Yeah, that was a fun one. So, anyways, hopefully the next ones will be fun as well. We've got it's probably gonna end up being a 3-part with the cargo ship, but that one's already full. But I'm gonna
Oh,
probably run another one shot, which I'm gonna try, which isn't gonna probably be like people in the Dungeon Delvers Guild. It's probably gonna be 1 level characters, and we'll see. I'm gonna do it as like a gladiator game, I think, and so we'll test that out. And if people want to make throwaway characters to play in that, it's probably gonna be Saturday morning for me. And then I'm gonna probably post some more games for next week.
awesome. Well, I'm super down. All right, I'm gonna head out,
Yep,
but thank you so much.
Have a
It
good night.
was great.
My the jobs that I've got followed from have both contacted me today, and my state is starting to open up again. So my time may stop becoming less, but I'll still try to if the things are come up when I'm available.
Yeah, well, I'm always happy to have you. You're awesome. So, I will see you all on the Facebook group or Discord, and I will chat later.
Definitely. Night.
Well,
Hear
I
from
imagine things will open
Sure.
slowly, so it'll still be relatively slow, but